The evening is here. Well, not for me, really. It's more like the afternoon, but it will soon be evening for me, eventually. Oimin and welcome, my name is Yuusha Anime. Welcome back to Grisaia no Kaduso, or The Fruit of Grisaia. And now we are back with episode, I think, 84, which is already an insane amount, or is it 85? I can't remember. But anyway, we are about to continue more Makina. I forgot what the hell we done last episode, so... Yigamashoka. Soon enough, evening came. Although her first shift at a new job... Oh yeah, we was checking up on a job, right? Oh yeah, with the bikes, yeah, I remember. Although her first shift at a new job ended some time ago, Makina hasn't returned. Armani, who suffered through the day in a state of constant, distracted worry, finally broke down and called the bakery. As it turns out, the girl had left right on time some 30 minutes ago. This prompted Armani to shout, "Shwa!" and attempted a dramatic leap to her feet with the cell phone still pressed to her ear. But unfortunately, the woman had been sitting on the couch with her long hair tucked under her sizable buttocks. Her head is snapped backwards with a painful yank. Armani let out a long groan, uncertain meaning, something along the lines of "Hugah!" and then turned impotent anger on the target closest at hand, me. "Hey Yuji, why didn't you pick up Makina? Get going." "What? Do I have to pick her up? Really? It's not like I sent the girl off for her first day at kindergarten. Makina's not a child, right? She'll come wandering back on her own eventually." Such were my honest thoughts on the matter, but faced with the sheer irritable fury in Armani's slightly teary eyes as she rubbed her scalp, I couldn't find the courage to voice them. God damn it. Sighing inwardly, I pushed myself up off my seat. I'm thinking she saw some huge dog, a great Pyrenees or Samoyed, something like that. Then latched onto the thing and buried itself in its fur, completely losing track of time. In that scenario, the owner would have to continue walking their dog at some point, meaning Makina should have come back on her own eventually. But depending on how things play out, she might tag along on the rest of the walk, following them all the way home. Eventually ended up in the stranger's living room, snacking on sweets and sweet cakes and tea. A disturbingly plausible scenario. If she went into another... I'd have many questions. Of course, families with big, poofy dogs like that tend to be fairly well off, so I doubt she'd be in much danger of a financially motivated crime. Oh, wow. But on the other hand, there's no guarantee she won't have run into the clutch of some cybaritric multi-millionaire with twisted interest in childish young bodies. Oh, for God's sake, now we're going into weird territory. Stop. I know there are some possible people in this that do exist in real life, but please stop. This is going beyond paranoia at this rate. She's 17. Or is she 15? I can't remember. Yeah, I think she was 15, actually, yeah. But still. This is what leads to paranoia. She's fine, it's brilliant. My conclusion, it'd be best to swiftly track the girl down, have her thank them for the cakes, then promptly withdraw. I retrieved my private cell phone from my jacket pocket. Of course, we tried calling Makina before anything else, but her cell phone went straight to voicemail every time. Armani and I have been uncertainly pondering our next move, when a savior known as Sakagi Yumiko descended from the ceiling on a golden chariot. Well, ain't that descriptive. As saviors go, she might be a bit on the cranky side, but today she brought us tidings of comfort and joy. Apparently, Makina's cell phone was equipped with a remote tracking function in case of loss or theft. Hey! We immediately set about tracking the phone's location through its GPS. As it turns out, she was keeping perfectly still in what looks like a corner of the shopping district near the station. After consulting the map, we confirmed the girl wasn't in a residential area, just sitting by the side of a public road. Apparently, my gobbling down cakes in a rich person's house hypothesis wasn't off the mark. Uh-oh. Hey, Makina, where are you? Given this new information, my next thought was that the girl had either dropped her cell phone or simply dozed off on the spot, but seems like it was the latter. She dozed off on the spot. Oh, she's holding melon palm. Oh, Grisaia. Hold on a minute. Let me get my bread. Hold on. I'll get my bread, goddammit. I'll get my lemon bread. Where is it? Oh, where did I put it? Do you know? For this one, that means I'm going to be eating bread. I don't care. I'm eating bread in this one. Let's go with bread. I'm going to eat bread. I've got my lemon bread. There we go. I found my lemon bread. Oh, my lemon cake even. I don't care what anybody says. I am eating this whilst doing this video. I do not care. Because now it's all about cake and I've got cake. Oh. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. Mm. Oh, it's good cake too. Hey, Makina, wake up. Oh yeah, to the previous comment as well, I will be doing Sakaki Yumiko's route as well, so don't worry, I'm doing everyone's route in this. I've already done the majority of everyone else's anyway. After Makina's, it's just Yumiko left. Then we're moving on to, I think it's the Labyrinth? Or is it a spin-off one yet? I'm not so sure if the spin-off ones are allowed or not. Aww. So I just wanted to clarify that. Makina. Hey Makina, wake up. Yeah. For the time being, I decided not to take the drastic smack upside the head solution to this dilemma. Opting for a gentle shake on the shoulder. Makina's head sways a little in response, but there's no sign of her waking up. Wouldn't have any first day on the job? The thought leaves me a little hesitant to wake the girl up forcibly. Yeah, she worked hard. And that makes me happy. For the moment, I decided to contact Amane myself.
Hi, こちらイリスマキナ捜索本部本部長スオンアマネ
Aha. This is Field Operative Kazumi Yuji. I discovered and secured the mark.
よかったマキナ見つかったのね
He had a little punk taking a nice nap on a bench in front of the station.
もう起こした起きそう
Not really. I tried calling out to her, but the girl seems to be sleeping pretty deeply. I'll wait a little longer, but it shouldn't be a problem either way. If necessary, I'll just carry her back to the
マキ
dorm.
ナ8時から見たいテレビがあるって言ってたからそれまでには連れて帰ってあげて
Hey, okay. Understood. Nothing further to report. I'm in the
お
group.
疲れ様
Yeah, thank you. Alright then. We're just gonna sit beside her. Oh. Hey Makina, can you wake up for me? She's in a deep sleep. Do you know what, this little cake cost me like $1. And it's really nice. It's really nice. This is the first time I think I'm eating in a recording. Ever. Unless I've done it before. Actually, no, I mean in a video, in a Let's Play. Once again, I give back in the shoulder a shake while we're calling out quietly. She just responded in the form of a dopey little grunt, but it doesn't seem to have brought her any closer to regaining consciousness. God dang it. Guess I'll have to carry her back. The girl's not exactly heavy. Shouldn't be much of an issue. I'll glance at my watch. We've still got nearly 2 hours left until 8, and I doubt it will take longer than 30 minutes to get back to the dorm, even if I'm carrying her on my back more than enough time. Yeah, seriously. Could you be any more defenseless? Yeah, she is like... Yeah, that's danger. Considering the girl was kidnapped as a child, she's surprisingly incautious. Maybe she doesn't think about it. Maybe. I just spat my damn computer, god damn it. Then again, there's not really much danger in the public street with heavy pedestrian traffic. Yeah, it'd be very hard to steal somebody like that. Definitely. Especially in Japan. At worst, you might have a wallet or bag stolen while you sleep, but in modern Japan, even that sort of petty crime isn't very common. No, it's too many people. And also, some people know self-defense. Yes. This really is a peaceful country. But on the other hand, the apathy of the passerby who doesn't even bother to wake up a little girl to snuff in the sun is also very typically Japanese. Yep. It really is. In any case, I can't just let the girl sleep here forever. For one thing, the longer we stay like this, the higher the odds of someone reporting some shady-looking degenerate trying to cop a feel of a sleeping kid to our friendly neighborhood police situation. Yeah. Because the outside is... Yeah, safety's key, and at the same time, they know nothing at the same time, yeah. I should really either be waking up immediately or getting her on my back and beating a prompt retreat, but... You just wanted to see her sleep like that. She worked hard. She had to. She's got a cute bit of melon bun that she must have made as well. Watching Makina draw soft, regular breasts, I kind of wanting to just let her be. Yeah. I know this might sound a little strange, but I don't dislike watching women sleep. Okay. Explain. Doesn't matter if it's a ridiculous, powerful, and crudely masculine woman, or a shagged, headed blonde who spends every walking moment carping like she's your damn mother. When her eyes are closed and her mouth is shut, they're cute. I see where you're going. Do you know what? I actually kind of agree. Yuuchi. Same goes for Makina. It seems. Normally watching a girl just make you wonder if she burned out a couple 100,000 synapses in the brain, but when she's sleeping quietly like this, she's generally adorable. Oh, you ate Makina? You were caught trying to cross the border. Yes, Papa Dale. Ah, well, you see. Oh. You're already taking the time getting back, so I came to pick you up. That's called hard work, trust me. When you're hired for a part-time job, you will really feel it in Japan. I know. Makina opens her mouth wide and lets out a high-pitched, vaguely feline yawn. Went out from your first day on the job? But she enjoyed it. Oh. Ah, that clicked off. Fuck. That's good to hear. Think you'll stick with it? Although I've been making a conscious effort to trust Makina, I was pretty worried deep down. But from the way she's talking, it sounds like she was able to concentrate on the job. What sort of people did you meet? And you met one of the Thai boys. Oh, hello. Sounds like you got quite a pan-Asian clientele there. Yeah. Jesus. Yes. Yes, and there's a cute little bread shop that I found when I was in Osaka. If you guys ever go to Osaka Umeda, and this is a personal recommendation for me. Like, if you ever get off at the Heikky part of Osaka Umeda, you'll be greeted with a massive area, massive absolute shopping area, right? If you follow the direction to go to the Tanimachi line, I think it is. I think it's the purple colour one. Basically, you'll be heading a bit more south down. Like, you'll be heading south. You'll be going near something called the Whitey area of the mall. So if you go down there to the left, just past the one side of the barriers, you go down that side. You go down to the left, then you go right the next turn, go straight down. There is a cute little bread shop there. It's very nice, actually, the bread there. They make lovely treats. Anyway, sorry about it. I just felt like eating, like, Japanese bread, seeing that melon pan. So I'm going to miss eating Japanese food. Not going to lie. You don't say. Come to think of it, this foreigner I knew once told me something. A while ago, the tabloids and TV news shows made a habit of constantly reporting an organised criminal activity perpetrated by a small number of illegal immigrant workers. Oh, okay, I think I know what this is referring to, actually. Okay. As a result, people got this fixed idea about groups of foreign shoplifters roaming the supermarkets. Yes. And anyone who doesn't look Japanese enough still gets the stink eye. Yes. Yes. And that's the reason why there's a foreign stigma. There's always the worry of these groups now. That's why the Japanese are more vigilant and also a bit more standoffish against foreigners. But also, you have to bear in mind that the clothes that the foreigners are wearing, because sometimes that can make alarm bells go. It's they've got plenty of reason to be cautious around foreigners, because they're the ones who have committed quite a bit of crime, whilst being in Japan for not as long as Japanese people, and it's a reason for the stigma. Makes sense. Can make your weekly shopping trip feel really unpleasant. Hey, it's cute melon pan. The paper sack Makina's clutching in her arms is packed full of pastries. Judging from the intense sweet fragrance wafting from the buns, they're still hot from the oven. Oh, a warm melon bun. I
お
want.
腹が空いたから帰りに食べようかと思ったんだけどね。どうせならみんなで食べようと思って。パパとかアマネーとかユミちゃんにチルチルにサッチンにチズチズ。いつもお世話になってる人にね。
Okay, now this
い
is
つもあり
wholesome.
がとうってメロンパン食べてって言おうと思って。
She's very thoughtful.
でも帰る途中でどうしても眠くなっちゃって寝ちゃった。私ね、いつもみんなにはありがとうって感謝してるのよ。でも、その気持ちをどう伝えていいのかわかんなくて。でもね、今日それが分かった気がするのよさ。一生懸命頑張って、これが私の頑張った結果なんだよってメロンパンを食べてもらえばきっと気持ち伝わるよね。
Oh yeah, for me taking that interval as well for trying to get the bread and eat it, I'm actually going to do a slightly longer recording this time. So there we go, I'll make up for eating that bread.
お礼の気持ちって、感謝の気持ちってきっとこういうことなんだろうなって初めて分かった気がするのね。それがね、今日一番嬉しかったこと。
Oh, Makina, you're adorable. I see. You did good, Makina. I'm sure they'll be happy. Like always, I drop a hand onto Makina's head and scratch vigorously, only to discover that her hair is moist with perspiration. Although it's gotten a little cooler now than that the sun's sinking. Napping outside on a summer day probably has something to do with it. When I think of it as sweet as sweat the girl shed in her labours, for some reason there's a tight feeling in my chest. She really did do her best, yeah. As the thought runs through my mind with a new ring of conviction, I look down to find Makina's head nodding back and forth unsteadily. Yep, come on, stay awake.
すごい眠いのよ。
We're making her sleepy. That's alright, you can sleep. But can you get on my back first? I'll carry you to the dorm.
ありがとう。
It's a very Papa thing to do. That's nice. I like that. As the street fills with the pinkish glow of sunset and the cries of cicadas, I take the bag of melon buns from Makina's hands, then help her onto my back. Her body small, light, and ridiculously warm as always. I can already feel my back growing damp with sweat. The girl's fast asleep before I can take a single step. She breathes through her nose steadily and quietly, every exhalation tickling the nape of my neck. This habit of dozing off anywhere at any time is, as Harmony puts it, probably a mild case of narcolepsy. But it's not anything that's unusual for me, since my big sister was just as abrupt a sleeper. Yeah, she could control the schedule like clockwork. I think Makina's fundamentally pretty similar to her in this respect, actually. My sister's brain ran on a higher octane fuel than most people's, but the mileage wasn't great. Sometimes she'd sleep more than 12 hours in a single day, god damn. And other times, I'd look over a brief pause in a conversation to find she'd nodded off, after which she'd wake up only in a minute or two later. Dang. The only major point of difference is that she would nod off at fixed times every day. Makina's a lot less predictable, requiring much more careful attention. Anyway, from what my sister told me when I was young, the heavy sleeping was necessary so that her unconscious mind could process the large amounts of information she absorbed while awake. So she wants to learn. In other words, nothing to get too worried about. Yeah. Oops. Shifting the melon buns to a precarious one-arm grip, I reach around to hold Makina's limp side down my back. After pushing her firmly onto my shoulders, I resume my slow, gentle walk back to the dorm, careful not to wake my passenger. Aww. That is adorable. And we're back in time so she can still watch the TV. When I return to the dorm, Makina is still clinging to my back. Amity comes out to meet us with undisguised relief on her face. And for some reason, all of our classmates are waiting in the lobby as well. Much a vaguely crabby expression on her face peers all over my shoulder at Makina asks, so she fell asleep after all, in a sarcastic tone. Then proceeds to poke at the girl's flabby little cheeks, mumble, what a hopeless kid, and break into a smile. As for Sachi, she begins by offering me a polite bow and thanks for my efforts, then carefully removes Makina's boots one at a time and puts them away in the shoe rack at the side of the door. I thought she was wearing loafers, but okay. In their place, she takes Makina's favourite pair of slippers, the so-called terrible twins, decorated with the snarling faces of 2 stuffed animal tigers, and slides them into her feet. However, since the girl is still lying limp against my back, they flop right off and fall to the ground. So she picks them up and puts them back on. Oh no. Nothing works any better the second or third time. Clumsily earnest, as always. Maybe someone should have figured out that brute force repetition doesn't compensate for the lack of strategy, and also gravity exists. Lastly, there's Sakaki. Her initially convincing show of indifference be belied by a momentary glance away from the paperback in her hand. Once her eyes find Makina sleeping on my back, she snorts softly and returns her glance to the book. She's happy. I think it's safe to say she is fairly concerned about Makina too, in her way. Oh yeah, of course. Maybe she thought, oh, I was just worrying for nothing, wasn't I? It's about 10 minutes after this little scene when the girl finally wakes up. Her eyes blink open in my bed, where I tossed her soundly slumbering body as a temporary measure, and quickly find the large sack of melon sitting next to her pillow. Squirming out of the bed, she grabs the bag and scampers off to distribute them to the other residents of the dorm. Hey, she did it. Amane and Sachi expressed their heartfelt thanks in voices choked with tears. Aww. Mutually offers, well, I don't dislike melon buns, managing to convey sincere gratitude despite the standard veneer of arrogance. Sakaki softly closes her book with a quiet I see, stares Makina straight in the face. I'll accept that gratefully then. Aww, even Sakaki's cold heart. I know I'm joking about Sakaki there, but that's nice. I proceeds to dig into the pastry right then and there. I'm honestly a little surprised at first, but come to think of it, I guess that's sort of her style. Yeah. In summary, Makina's first day of the part-time work, the subject of so much angst and anxiety has come to a peaceful conclusion. That's a wholesome conclusion! That's wholesome! And that evening, Sakaki graciously allows Makina and Amane to take the first bath. The moment the girl's out, she runs down the lobby where I've been waiting for my turn. Then drops herself onto my lap with a solid thump and turns to face the television set. It appears that way. As I answer Sachi's teasing comment with a wry smile. Okay, Sachi, calm down now. Makina grabs the remote control from the table. She then flips to the channel from her favourite show. Chuckling softly, Sachi places a glass of diluted Calpis in front of Makina, then makes a swift exit. Probably gone off to tidy up the mess Makina made in the bath before Sakaki takes her turn. The girl really is quite the attentive servant. Just as Sachi is disappearing up the stairs, Amane enters the lobby in the process of removing her apron. That's cute. Oh yeah, in case you don't know what oyako means, it basically means like parent and child, because oya is usually an honorific that's used for like parents, like chichoya, hahoya. Like if you hear it like in old anime, old setting anime, then oya is usually used to address somebody as a parent. And then ko for kodomo, for children, ko. Or anoko, ko, kodomo. Exact same thing. And then put them two together, parent and child. Done. For her part, the way Ayane is striking that conversation with freshly washed tableware in her hands is also oddly domestic. She's the very image of a housewife. Oh yeah. Do I look that old? Let's go as siblings instead. But this pronouncement, Amane heads back to her room with the stack of clean plates. That's cute. Are you calling crochet, punk? In the first place, it's not like I've experienced the world thoroughly enough to start passing judgment on whippersnappers. Surely Makina's usually childish behaviour is the more relevant factor. Yeah. A good case in point, the girl's currently guzzling down the sweet milky drink mesmerised by the glow of the television screen, completely oblivious to the world around her. It occurs to me that if you cut this one moment in time, it looked like a pretty happy little game of house. Aww. Honestly, I'm startled by my own behaviour. Even though I understand that this is ultimately nothing more than a make-believe game, I can't seem to help surrendering myself to its lukewarm comforts. Aww.
パパ、デイブ
Dave Kyoju? Ah, so it is. What's the good professor doing battle with today? The professor in question is the host of the American documentary show Professor Dave's Amazing Animals. A man by the name of David McAllister. This fearless individual apparently puts his life on the line on a weekly basis to provide his audience with reports on various dangerous animals, a formula that's proved highly popular with his audience of bloodthirsty children. Yeah, people watch them just to see when the person will get caught. I mean, come on! Like, when everyone heard the news about Crocodile Hunter, it was like, well, that was the reason why you watched it, is because hunting crocodiles is dangerous, and you know he's going to get caught one day. What do you know, he did.
Yeah, kids,
Summit. Alright, come on, Sachi, run in here. Clad stylishly in the tough survivor gear of a seasoned adventurer, a Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts, Professor Dave strides confidently along a beach, telling the kids in front of their TV sets all about sharks in a cheerful, enthusiastic monologue periodically interrupted by voiceovers that seem to be strategically covering up some overly frank observations. Sorry. Okay. Hmm.
テレビの前のキッズがサメに噛まれた時の対処法を実験するためにここシャークワールドセンターにやってきたのさ。
Dang. Behind Professor Dave, equipped for his mission with flip-flops and a straw hat, an image of a large building appears with the word Shark World Center in bold red letters. A voiceover informs us that the center is an institution that looks after injured sharks who find their way into shallow coastal waters, helping them to heal and return to the sea. Hey, that's kind of cool. Soon, the scene switches to Dave peering down into a massive water tank, where a great white shark that appears to be good 5 meters in length quietly glides to and fro. The great white shark. And as always, Professor Dave starts saying some crazy shit. Every time I watch this show, I end up thinking, isn't anyone going to stop this guy? Yes! The same with the Crocodile Hunter, or Crocodile Dundee. This week is no exception, as Dave promptly leaps into a shark tank with the bleeding. A raw carcass of a cow clutched to his chest. Wow. Or you can just label that as pure insanity. That's the other way you can identify that as, depending on who you are. Yeah, let's not try. As if on cue, a disingenuous warning clearly inserted by some long-suffering network lawyer flashes across the bottom of the screen. Hey kids, never try this at home. That's the promise of Professor Dave. And again, I sort of feel like any kid stupid enough to try and imitate this stunt should be firmly roped to a hospital bed in the first place. Yes. Yes. Yep, and that's when they get very violent. Seconds after Dave hits the water, the great white slowly turns its massive head in the direction of a bloody carcass, then begins to steadily home in on the smell. The professor holds out the slab of raw meat to the approaching predator, who promptly takes a violent bite, beginning the experiment. Yeah, don't get flustered. Yeah, very true. Yeah, that's his weak spot. That's the weak spot. The ampule. Yep, that's the one way you can get free from a shark, because that really hurts them. Professor Dave demonstrates by launching a vigorous rain of blows on the thrashing ichthyoid. His hearty battle cry is partially drowned out by a series of electronic bleeps. Soon enough, he's beating the beast into an ignominious retreat. This guy is encouraging animal abuse. But for survival, he's right. He's right. This show's as over the top as ever. Oh yeah. But in the man's defense, Professor Dave's Amazing Animals isn't just selling cheap thrills. The latter half of the program always transitions to a serious emotional animal story of some sort. Hey! In fact, you could call the extreme experiments in the first part of the show showbait Dave uses to get the kids' attention, with the real heart of the program coming in the latter half. Oh!
Amazing Animal. チャンネルはそのまま
Even the professor currently flashing a cheerful victory sign to the screen puts aside his cocky persona in the second half of the program, talking gently with an earnest expression on his face. Wow. The mini-documentary this week tells the story of a fawn that lost its parents at a young age. The camera traces the animal's struggles to get by on its own after its mother and father are eaten by lions. Wow. But in the end, it too dies, never having been taught the skills necessary to survive. Oh, okay. Is this some symbolism to Makina? Fairly harsh stuff, really. Still clenching the empty glass of Calipis in one stubby little hand, Makina stares intently at the screen, watching the little deer's final moments so quietly she almost seems to be holding her breath.
パパ
What?
私を残して死んじゃったりしないよね
Okay, yeah, that's a worry of all kids. All of a sudden, the cheerful girl on my lap is hanging her head miserably, fat tears rolling over her cheeks. They're not tears of pity for the doomed fawn on a television set. They're the selfish, fearful tears of a child, comparing her own circumstances with those of the starving, lonely animal.
パパは死んだりしないよね
She repeats the words, her quavering voice pressing me for an answer. It's not like I can possibly guarantee that, no matter what I promise the girl today. I'll die when it's my time to die. And yet, don't worry, I won't die. From what I read in those documents, Makina saw her own father die before her eyes when she was just a child. So I have no choice but to speak these words, even if they're groundless, irresponsible lies. There's just nothing else I can do. Do I look like I'm going to kick the bucket that easily? I'll keep you safe, and I won't die no matter what. You have my word for that.
本当に
Yeah, that's a promise. Oh. Head pat time! Give her the head pats!
ねチューしてくれたら泣き止むかも
Okay, I don't know why I skipped that, but the words alone don't seem to be enough to earn her trust. Makina gulps down a big shuddering breath and bites down on the lip. Tears still sliding down her face. Come on, seriously. How do I get you to stop crying? A kiss, eh? Crafty little twerp. Where the hell did she pick that up? Wait, as if I really have to... Nice. I turn my eyes upward in disgust, trying to burn a hole through the ceiling to where Armane's no doubt humming obliviously and putting away her dishes. Alright, Makina. Mil toshite. This is a very weird parent relationships, I must say, even though we're not related at all in any way, no, around the same age. Standing the girl in front of me, I wait for her eyes to fall shut, then grab her firmly around the ears with both hands and bite vigorously into her head. Oh! 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 Oh, that took a complete 180! Mineral walls. Play around too much and you'll get eaten right up. My point made, I resumed grinding my teeth against Makina's scalp. Yes! Oh. Even as I gnaw away at her cranium, Makina flings her arms up in desperate resistance. Poorly developed as she may be, the girl isn't a child, and although she obviously wasn't intending a full force attack, one punch just so happens to land nicely on the bridge of my coming from somebody who has had his nose broken multiple times. I know. Damn it, you little punk.
何やってんのよあんたたち
Is this the other Michiru? Is your vision going already? We're playing the Mineral Walls game, obviously.
なんでマキナの服脱がしてんのよ
Because I'm a wolf.
そして私は哀れな子羊だからだどんなルールチルチルもやるか
Eh?
やらないわよ私まだお風呂入ってないしじゃあお風呂出た後なら OK ってこと別にそういう意味じゃないしつうかなんで私がそんなレイプごっこに付き合わなきゃいけないわけ
She actually did say that. She actually did say that, in all
結構ド
fairness.
キドキすんぞ。
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing.
でもそんないいわよ。あんたら二人で勝手にやってなさいよ。私はお風呂に入るの。やつはなんで急に顔真っ赤にして怒ってんだ？意味がわからん。
Even I don't know the mysteries of that one, Makina. Don't ask me, maybe that's just how Sundays are. Nah.
めんどくせえのな、ツンデレ。
Uh-oh, she heard that. I had to agree with you there. Oh, she didn't hear it. God damn. By the time my little routine finally winds down, the hour hands are crawl past 10. Makina keeps watching the television for a while after Professor Dave signs off, but soon enough she's nodded off in my lap. Aw, a soft body. Now completely slack against mine. It's weirdly warm as always. Wish the girl could turn down her body temperature a little. Hold on to her too long, you end up overheated.
あれ、マキナ寝ちゃった？
Yeah, I guess I'll go carry her to the room and dump her in bed. When I lift Makina up off of me, her head flops over like an infant's limb dangling down like the feelers of some torpid jellyfish. Dang it. The girl's too damn limp. Get a decent grip.
マキナは子供の頃バレエを習っていたらしいから、それが原因じゃない？
Wait, was that written in the thing? Ballet? Guess it's not surprising that the daughter of a filthy rich family might get a few lessons. Yeah. Actually, Makina's a lot more agile and quick on her feet than you might expect. Oh, I can believe it. Like chasing after... Who was it with the bug? Was it Michiru or was it Armane in the beginning? I think it was Armane, wasn't it? She was chasing her with like a bug. She was trained in ballet as a kid. That might be more or less expected. Explain it, sorry. Oops. So I finally managed to hoist Makina... I think that's what that would have been. As I finally managed to hoist Makina up onto my arms in the classic bridal carry, one of her stubby little hands clutches tightly at my shirt. Seems to be an unconscious reflex, since the girl herself is still thoroughly out of it.
掴まれちゃったね。それ、下手すると30分は話してもらえないわよ。無理やり引き剥がそうとすると泣き出すし。
Oh no. Fantastic. Guess I don't have any choice but to stay next to her until she falls asleep for real then.
そのまま一緒に寝ちゃえばいいんじゃない？
Can you not say things like that so casually? And while you're at it, do me a favour and stop teaching Makina weird crap.
何のこと？
Go try this, I'll start crying if you kiss me, number out on me. Sounded exactly like you.
いやーね、またそうやって人聞きの悪い。私は別に何も教えてないわよ。
It definitely was you. Makina's brain's like a sponge, remember? Have to be careful or she'll pick up that nonsense before you know it. It's so funny.
なんか本当に父親みたいね。
In what respect?
キスしてって言われて戸惑っちゃうところとか？
That was just a common sense reaction to the situation. Yeah.
じゃあ私がキスしてって言ったらどうする？
I give you a karate chop, take out my wallet and ask. We're bringing back that. You got it. Oh.
さすがの私もお金なんか取らないわよ。キスぐらいタダでさせてあげるのに。
And this is when Makina wakes up and tears Armani apart. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Yes.
もう育児なし。
That's not a matter of guts. Nothing in the world is free. It's worked out for me so far. Yeah. I carry my floppy burden to Armani's room on the second floor and deposit it on the bed. But just as I was warned, a good 30 minutes pass without Makina's death grip on my clothes weakening in the slightest. When the girl finally sinks into full-fledged sleep, her hand slips free. Seizing my chance, I quietly rise from the bedside and return to my room. Aww, that's cute. Just cute wholesomes. Wholesomes! When women are in a bad mood, they eat nothing but salad for breakfast. A simple, valuable rule of thumb I learned from my time with JB. Really? Every once in a while, she'd stumble bleary-eyed into the room in her favourable cow print pajamas? Scratching at her shaggy head. She'd then narrow her already menacing eyes to dagger-sharp slits and mumble just salad for me. Of course we're talking about Harudera Yuria here, a personage renowned as Queen Hysteria in her professional life. What? In defense to that noble's idol, on such mornings I would quietly resolve not to oppose her. But for some reason, we always ended up fighting anyway. Quite a mysterious phenomenon.
Alright,
why do I hear plates? Nothing in particular. Maybe blonde women are just cranky in the mornings by default. But then again, I guess Michiru is always more or less like this. Even if I went out of my way to be kind and solicitous now, she'd probably interpret it as condensation and flip out. Yeah. That said, telling her to stop snarling at me for no reason probably wouldn't be productive either. Oh yeah. Much less remarks to the effects of the go get laid for once, why don't you? Or your womb's going to shrivel up unless Oh, I need a moment. Oh. 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 Wow. That is how you kill a lady. And then end up on the public execution list. Whoa. Your womb's going to shrivel up unless you get it with get it a little attention. Oh. That ain't some true stuff, and yet something that can get you killed instantly. Oh, never have I been so offended by something I 100% agree with. Jesus. Oh. In my experience, such frank but well-intentioned device is met only with a flash of lightning like rough from above. In other words, the only winning move in the game is not to play, yes. As my predecessor once put it, no woman and hysterical women will have their way. Don't get too worked up about it. And I've never had cause to doubt the soundness of her judgment in the matter. Accordingly, while the question, why the hell is this girl eating breakfast in my room? Why is she? Maybe floating through my mind at the moment, I judge it wisest to maintain my silence.
私に朝ごはんも食べずに飢え死にしろっての。
This is my fault. Look, I didn't say a word.
何よ、言いたいことがあるなら言いなさいよ。ムカつくわね。
Mission, get out. Someone please explain to me why blonde women all say the same damn things. You'd think they were all reading from one script. Don't tell me there's some sort of little red book for blondes secretly circulating among the fair-haired population and they're all living in accordance with its teachings. What type of cult is that?
どう？そのパン美味しい？あ、うん、美味しい。なんか悪いわね、急に来て。別に急じゃないわよ。昨日の夜、さっちゃんが私んとこ来て、みちる様の朝食をよろしくお願いしますって頭下げて言ったし。
Ah.
そうなの？
Yeah. In other words, Sachi predicted that the moment she left the dorm you'd go sponge off anime like the helpless freeloader you are. Seems like the girl knows you well. Jesus.
さいわね。私だって料理ぐらいできるわよ。やらないだけなんだからね。
This is the type of answer where I would just go like, get out. Get out. I see. Freakishly enough, I can remember JB once saying exactly the same thing. At this point, I'm about ready to wonder if that secret instruction manual really does exist. I thought there was one as well, but I have not come across those sacred texts. Just yet. But if so... Michiru, my friend, I foresee trouble in your future. I see you drunk on cheap sake, lazily sleeping together with some home cooking, then coercively demanding, well, delicious, huh? It's delicious, right? Of your victims. On top of it all, I see you passing out on the sofa without bothering to put away the dishes or clean the kitchen. Yes, I'm afraid there's a good chance you're going to become a complete nuisance of a woman.
まるで未来を見てきたかのように。ああ、そういえばみちる、あんた前にそんなことあったよね。
Oh no, that's right, I got it.
確か料理漫画に影響されたかなんかで急に今日は私がご飯作るって言い出したかと思ったら
What did she read? Toriko?
キッチンをぐちゃぐちゃにしてくれたじゃん。
Oh no.
でもちゃんとハンバーグ作ったじゃない。みんな美味しい美味しいって食べてたじゃない。まあみちるが作ったにしちゃ美味しかったけど。
And we don't even know what the stands are.
付け合わせのポテトサラダ作ったの私だし、あんたがぐちゃぐちゃにしたキッチンを片付けたのはさっちゃんよ。
でも料理はちゃんとできてたでしょうが。
いいみちるちゃん。
Oh, Amane's mad.
お片付けも含めてお料理なのよ。家に帰るまでが遠足だって学校で教わらなかった？
Amane's mad.
ズムの弱い子に優しく解いて聞かせるみたいに言うな。
Calm down, I think you've made your point. In any case, it's interesting to hear that Michiru really can cook. I like to try that Salisbury steak myself sometime.
そう
ちょっとユージ、あんたはまたそうやって社交辞令的なこと言ってこの場を丸め込もうとしてもしみちるがその気になって今日のお昼私が作るとか言い出したらどう責任取るつもりよ。今日はさっちゃんもいないし私だって忙しいのよ。
ちょっとあまねあんたちょっとは私に気を使って言葉選びなさいよ。
So anyway, Wes actually wandered off to first thing in the morning. Yeah.
聞いてないの？今日は神社でお祭りがあるからさっちゃんはその準備に出かけてるのよ。
Oh, she's helping with a festival. Okay then. Ah, a festival is it? When I was cutting through the area around the shrine on my run with Makina this morning, I did hear the sound of a group practicing with flutes and drums or something. They must have been rehearsing for the main event. Now that you mention it, Makina kept yelling Summer Festival, and that's Natsu Matsuri-da. The way she probably said it was Natsu Matsuri-da instead of Tsuri. And Don Balance this morning. I assumed this was more of a cryptid nonsense and ignored it, but I guess she must have meant Summer Festival on Bon Dance. Oh, Obon.
そういうこと。商店街でもお祭りをやるからさっちゃんは広場に櫓とかテントを建てるの手伝いに行ってるし、マキナはパン屋さんが出すチリドッグの屋台を手伝いに行ってる。私もこの後子供会で無料配布する豚汁を作りに行くの。
豚汁? Okay then, okay. Oh, pretty admirable contributions to your town for such an insolent bunch. Not bad.
まあね、埋め立て地とはいえ美浜もこの地域の一員だしね。
True. Well, I firmly approve of putting down roots in the border community. Let me rephrase that. If we don't pitch in with this sort of straightforward community service, Mihama will probably get a reputation as some secretive school where God knows what goes on. I mean, it's not like our budget's coming out of the public coffers, so I doubt we get protesters with placards hurling eggs over the gate, but still, putting a little effort into our PR can't hurt, yeah.
何よ、それじゃあ何もしてない私が悪者みたいじゃないのよ。
Same with Yuji, he's done nothing. I wasn't really implying anything. I mean, it's not like Sakaki's doing anything either, right? Yeah.
榊さんはほら、お祭りのスポンサーになってるから。
Never mind.
行けばわかると思うけど、商店街の街頭全部に盗品グループの旗がいっぱいぶら下がってるよ。
That makes sense.
金だけ出しておけばいいってもんじゃないでしょうに。
It's probably not her herself, really.
それにグループの代表として午後から始まるのど自慢大会の審査員をやってくれないかって商店街の会長さんに頼まれたみたいでさ。
Okay.
最初は断るつもりだったらしいけど、結局断りきれなくて引き受けちゃったから暇じゃないと思うわよ。
I really wanted to go to a summer festival while I was here in Japan, but unfortunately they all got cancelled. I really wanted to go to one. It was a massive shame, that one.
ヌーじゃないわよ。あんたも暇なら手伝いに来なさいよ。子供会の綿菓子作って配ったり、引換券持ってきた子にお菓子の詰め合わせあげたり、今年は金魚すくい券もあるから金魚屋のお姉さんやるとかね。
A goldfish lady. Mitch in one of those light blue happy coats? Might work for you. Damn. Yeah, go for the goldfish lady. You're blonde, so the coloration works. And somehow I can't really picture you as a Carney's daughter.
あんた、それ褒めてるようで褒めてないでしょ。
Yeah, pretty much. Nah, sending chicks that cost practically nothing to dumb kids really does seem like it would suit you. Or maybe running one of those semi-fraudulent die-cutting stores where the prices are entirely at the owner's discretion.
あんたバカにしてるでしょ。私のことバカにしてるでしょ。
まあまあ、暇なら後で私と一緒に手伝いに行こうよ。ね。
分かったわよ。どうせ暇だしね。子供は嫌いだけど手伝ってあげるわよ。
ユージはどうする？
I've got nothing to do either, so I'll help out if there's any jobs where a little physical power might come in handy.
じゃあさっちゃんの方手伝ってあげてくれる？やぐら組とか大変そうだし。
Yeah, Roger.
そんじゃとっととご飯食べて出かけようか。
Damn,
みちる
that was Kansai
パンと
Ben
牛
as
乳のお
hell.
かわりは？美味しいでしょそのパン。
I'm pretty sure that was Kansai Ben. Sonja.
美味しいわよ。おかわりがあるならもらいたいわよ。なんで怒ってるのかさっぱりわからないけど。
Yeah.
ちなみにそのパン、マキナが焼いたんだよ。
Hmm.
ブホ
Yeah.
ーってマジで？
And now me introduce the last one.
私、昨日パン焼き器買ってさ。今朝マキナが生地をもっちゃもっちゃこねて早速焼いてみたんだけど、これがまあ結構美味しいのよね。所詮は機械の性能じゃない。私だって機械があれば美味しく焼けるわよ。
Oh, don't burn yourself with that maker
で
right
も
there.
マキナはあんたと違ってちゃんとキッチン片付け
She
てやった
actually
わ
cleaned
よ。
up after herself as well.
うぐー
Wow.
うぐーじゃねえぞ。
And so, having partaken of our morning repast, we immediately head out and assist the local festivities with Michiru and Amane joining the event staff for the Children's Festival. Oh, it's a children's festival, okay. They proceeded to brandish sticks at a group of innocent neighbourhood children gathered in short-sleeved happy coats. This forced these little captives to parade through the town dragging a float that must be over 3 tons in weight. Oh yeah, you see them in the events, they go around the street with that. This seemingly meaningless exercise in sadism, roughly equivalent to the classic dig a hole and fill it back up again number, does serve a certain purpose. Namely helping these impressionable youths understand it's pointless to resist adults, and providing them an early introduction into the carrot and stick principle that ultimately governs our world. Damn. Still, from what I hear, Amane proved extremely popular with the kids, especially the older grade school boys. Oh, I can understand why. Most likely a few local children were given a jump start on the road toward puberty, internalising the sad law that governs our gender. Obey the breasts. Yes! And unfortunately, it works. It works, and we shouldn't fall for it. We shouldn't. In the meanwhile, my spur-of-the-moment assistance was directed toward the area reserved for the bomb dance, where apparently they were eager for male help. I hurried to the plot of land being used for the purpose. Still in my uniform there, I discovered Sachi in full maid dress despite the brutal heat, swinging a scythe round like a Grim Reaper made flesh. Damn. Straining from her labours, she offered me a deep nod, the words, "Thank you for coming," spoken in a tone of a commander at Luzon greeting his reinforcements. Jesus. And a sickle of my own, politely pressing me into immediate service. The tower for the dance itself was really standing tall in the middle of the plot, and the neighbourhood council's tents had been set up. The only pressing business remaining was moving down the weeds on the edges of the area. My allies in this task, apart from the inautomable maid already mentioned, included other ladies in sweatpants with towels wrapped around their head and to ward off the sun. And here and there a few younger housewives in fashionable sports gear and sun visors, looking as though they'd just wandered out of a yoga class. I wonder if they're there for that or if they're doing something else, you know. Probably the first one. A wise man once said, our nation's greatest national security threats are the weeds that keep sprouting up in our manoeuvring grounds, no matter how many damn times we cut them down, or so I'm told. Ah. But it seems though this invasion of thick wild grasses hasn't confined its intolerable aggression to military targets. We have a word for those who invade our territory. Enemies. Watch over the blazing hot gaze of the sun. I quietly wield my scythe in devoted pursuit of the national interest. That's a way to say weeds are against the national interest. God damn. But I would 100% agree. Although I have my doubts about this slapdash approach of readying the venue on the day of that event itself. After about 2 hours of reaping, we got ourselves a perfectly respectable venue for a bomb dance. Hey! With all the construction work complete, the council is just beginning to test its speaker equipment. Having returned our tools to a nearby storehouse, Sachi and I accept canned soft drinks from a plastic pail full of ice, then soothe our parched throats as we towel the sweat off of our foreheads.
お疲れ様でした。風見さんのおかげで予定より早く準備が完了しました。
Have to say though, waiting till the day of the festival to mow the ground strikes me as a little reckless.
あまり早く草刈りをしても、結局すぐに伸びてきてしまいます。
Yeah, it makes sense.
商店主の方々はお店もありますから、基本的に男手が足りないんですよ。
Okay. Makes sense, I guess.
若い男の人が手伝ってくれるのは珍しいので、 婦人会の方たちは風見さんに感謝していましたよ。
I'm sure some of them have definitely got wet yoga pants now. Mowing down the weeds in one thing is one thing I'm used to. Not a problem.
私、婦人会の方に彼氏なのって聞かれちゃいました。
Okay, that's cute. Oh, what did you tell them?
誰にも言っちゃダメですよって答えておきました。
Oh, come on! That makes it sound like you totally are. Oh, how about denying it? Then again, if she just shook her head with those expressionless glass beady eyes and said no, just a classmate, I'd probably end up feeling pretty melancholy. True. It's the same with, I guess girls and guys are very similar in that regard when it comes to like certain things that people say. It's like, like that. The human male is a pretty selfish creature. Yep. Females are as well, trust me, they're competitive as hell. Oh, it is a Makina. I haven't seen you in ages, since this morning specifically. Kisaburi. Damn. That was the first time I've ever heard somebody say Kisaburi. Damn, I'm actually... Kesa, I think, is morning. And I think it's also using Hisashiburi as in Kisaburi. I've never heard that. Never heard that. Call me red-handed. I was just now flirting around with our friend Sachi here. Uh-oh.
お話ししてただけで別に浮気はしてないよ。
まあ、サッチンなら別にいいか。
Seriously?
マキちゃんはパン屋さんのお仕事はもういいの？
Oh, look at you blatantly changing the subject.
どうして風見さんはいつもそうやって言わなくていいことを気軽にポンポンポンポンと口にしますか？
Because he's good like that.
マキちゃんがサッチンとなら浮気してもいいと言っているのですから、おとなしく浮気しておけばいいじゃないですか、私と。
キスと本番は NG な。
Wait, hold on, I need to listen to what she said again. Hold on.
キスと本番は NG な。
Oh, by the way, no kissing and no doing anything like that, okay? Gosh. Well, so much for that one. What are you saying? Don't say stuff like that to Sachi. She'll take it seriously. What are you going to do if I wake up tomorrow morning to find the girl sitting on her heels at my bedside with a box of tissues in her? Here are your corrects, sir.
そうか。たまにの仕事が一つ減っちゃうな。
That's not the issue, okay? For one thing, even Avni isn't quite that convenient a woman. Damn.
風見さんがお望みでしたら、私は別に。
Uh-oh. Okay, stop scrolling around and blushing. Don't take a stupid joke seriously, alright? I have my hands full of harmony. I'll pass on any more stuff. Oh. Oh.
私がなんだって？
I didn't hear anything, guys, but I keep going. Oh, but it's an harmony. What a coincidence. I was just mentioning how I don't need another woman with you around.
まあなんか都合のいいように話をねじ曲げているような気がしないでもないけど。まあいいわ。
I mean, he did technically say that. Just a bit more rudely. He finished up with the children's event eventually.
一応手伝いは全部終わったかな。そっちは？
Oh, well, yeah. Sachi and I helped get the venue set up. Went pretty smoothly.
私も午前中の分は終わらしたし、午後の人と交代したからお仕事は終わりなのよさ。
そっか。じゃあ一旦寮に帰ってお風呂に入ったら浴衣に着替えよっか。
Yukata day is coming!
浴衣プリーな。
Yes!
例年のようにお代官様ごっこしながら着替えようぜ。
Evil magistrate game. Damn, sounds like fun. Let me pull your sashes. Yes. Just like rip the sashes off so violently like it's a damn Beyblade.
皆さん和気あいあいのところでこんなことを聞くと少しあれなのですが、みちる様は今どこで何を？
Ah, good question.
そうか。みちるのことすっかり忘れてたわ。
Yeah, funny enough idea. Come to think of it, that bottle blonde isn't around. What's her deal?
いやみちるが手伝いに来てくれて大助かりよ。
Oh
あ
no.
の子お菓子を配るたびに勘違いしないでよねって言うもんだから子供たちに大受けでさ。
Okay.
やっぱツンデレってブームなのかしらね。すっかり子供に気に入られたみたいでさ。
Do you know what? The thing is with me with tsunderes, I either love them or hate them. Because there's overkill tsundere, and then there's just right tsundere, and then there's just like a tidge mid bit. I like the perfect amount of tsundere. To the point where it's enjoyable. Not the point where it's like tedious and annoying, or the point where it's like, which one are you then?
子供にみちるって呼ばれるたびに、
Oh.
ちょっと気安く呼び捨てにしないでくれる？私は別にあんたの彼女になったわけじゃないんだからね。
Oh wow, the voice cut off so sharply.
もうウケるウケる。でまあ調子に乗ったみちるは
Yeah.
金魚すくいの屋
She
台をやり
rode
ながら
on.
何を思ったのか金魚の着ぐるみを着て創作ダンスまで踊ったもんだから熱中症になってね。
Oh,
今は
that's
水を張
why.
った
Okay.
子供用プールに体を沈めて電解質溶液をガブガブ飲まされてるはずよ。
Ah.
それって大変じゃないですか。
Yeah, but she brought it on herself by being silly.
おつむの具合がちょっと残念な感じな。
I mean, you're not wrong. You are actually not wrong. The scene flashes before my eyes. Misu stretched out limply in a giant goldfish costume, half submerged in a plastic kiddie pool. Kids dumping water over her head using plastic pails. I feel like this might actually have exceeded surreal and looped back around to become something of a pleasant little image.
私ちょっと様子を見に行ってきます。
Okay.
みちる様はどこに？
神社の脇の児童館の場所わかる？そこの広場で金魚すくいやってる横の木陰にいると思うよ。
Alright.
わかりました。それじゃあ私失礼します。
See you later, Sechi. Safe travels.
そっちんは心配性な。
Of course. Maybe she just wants to watch Michiru flop it around weekly. I wouldn't mind seeing that myself.
弱ってるチルチルに頭から水かけて遊ぶのな。
I'm pretty sure that's called.
私もそれはちょっと興味あるのよさ。
I'm pretty sure that's waterboarding at
ア
that
ブ
point.
アブ言ってるチルチル見てゲラゲラ笑うの楽しそうなのよ。
お前ら鬼か。
Yeah. What, you're not coming along? Too bad. Guess I'll have to go by ourselves, Makina.
行こうぜ。パパ、途中で折れるアイス買って半分こしよう。
Hamagoshi? Oh, very well. Guess I'll buy Michiru and Sachi some while I'm at it.
あ、ちょっと私を置いてく気？待ってよ、私も行くから。
Okay, so she's coming to join and become a demon as well. Like she wasn't a demon of lust as it was. We conclude our slightly hectic afternoon by retrieving Michiru. As expected, she's thoroughly transformed into a water toy by the local children. Then we temporarily return to the dorm to ready ourselves for the festival proper. At the first hint of twilight begins to creep into the sky, the squawking of birds returning to their nests fills the air. And fireworks are going. The sounds abruptly washed out by the rapid popping of a 5-stage thunder firework reminiscent of a bursting mortar shell. The notification that everything's gone off as planned, marking the official beginning of the festival. There we go. Hey! Oh, Japanese guys really do suit a stumpy little barrel like you, don't they?
それは褒めてんのか？
We did not. Let me get a better look. Hey, you got this thing on pretty well, don't you? Did Harmony put it on for you?
マキナの場合は作り帯だから手間はかかんないのよ。
Okay. Oh, does that mean your sash is the real deal, Harmony?
そりゃそうでしょう。
Yeah.
私の地元じゃ作り帯が許されるのは小学生までよ。中学生になってまだ作り帯なんか巻いてたら笑われちゃうっての。
Ah.
私のプライドはズタズタだな。
Damn, you just
あん
rained
た
on
はいい
her.
のよ。身長的にも体型的にもそれが一番似合ってんだから。
True.
大体あんたすぐに着崩しちゃうでしょうが。くしくし帯で上等よ。
Oh, yeah, I guess she's
いいのよ
right.
さ。この方が脱がせやすいしな。
Well then.
それにアマネーは下にパンツ履いてるし腹にはタオル巻いてっけど私はノーパンなのよ。これも一つのアドバンテージなのよさ。
Oh no, pal. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. Sorry, what exactly are you supposed to be competing at here?
と
Yeah.
にかくだ。祭りといっても何を祀っているのか宗教的な背景を一切気に留めようともしない私だけれど、
Hmm.
祭りを存分に楽しもうとしている姿勢や意気込みだけは感じるな。
I don't really get it, but you certainly do seem pretty fired up.
マキナ、あんたその金魚柄の浴衣、私に対する嫌がらせ。
Now that's a stretch even for you, Michiru.
おいチルチル、金魚酔いはもういいの？
金魚酔いじゃないわよ。
金魚酔い
熱中症よ。っていうか、金魚はもううんざりよ。
Well, don't look at it then.
この金魚柄はあんまねが選んでくれたのよさ。
Yes, it wasn't even today.
ほら見てやって、マキナの飾り帯、琉金の尻尾みたいになっててふわふわしてんの。これ可愛くない？
And also the flower on her head's really nice. In combination with those pigtails, spoilers, and the cylindrical design of the clothes, I think it resembles a vectoring nozzle. No doubt it'll prove useful for precision maneuvering in a zero-G environment stirs the male soul.
私は可愛いかって聞いてんだぞ。
That's the most lengthy way I've ever heard somebody say that their friend dresses slutty. Wow. I see. You look cute, Makina.
そうかな。
And we just ignore her. Yours looks great as well, Harmony. I'm honestly impressed. That's how you catch her off
あ
guard.
りがとう。
And as for you, Michiru, the usual outfit, I see.
何よ、私だって浴衣ぐらい着たことあるわよ。今日はたまたま着てないだけで。
Uh-huh.
着ればいいの？着ればいいんでしょ、ムキ
I was already telling you to put one on, just saying.
ー。
Yeah.
それより他の子たちは？
Come on,
ちゃんな
Sakaki.
らちょっと前に浴衣着て出て行ったのよ。
Yeah, I can imagine hers being like maybe a purple. Maybe a deep purple. No, actually. Maybe... Yeah, I can only imagine her in a purple one, really. Somehow. It would have to look really good now, though.
なんかよくわかんないけど、地元のお偉方が集まるテントでお酒のお酌をするんだって。
Okay.
すんげえ苦々しい顔して出て行ったけど、あんな顔した女に継がれても酒がまずくなるだけじゃね？
Well,
せっかくのお
yeah.
祭りだってのに、榊さんも苦労が絶えないわね。
Yep. And that's a family name for you, especially in a place
そう
that
いう家
favors...
柄なんだし、諦めろって話なのよさ。
And what about Sachi?
なんで私を見るのよ。いや、まあ私が知ってるんだけどさ。
Get in touch.
サチなら誰もいなくなるからって寮の戸締まりをして回ってるわよ。
Okay.
と噂をすれば小宮崎登場ですよ。
Same old maid uniform, huh? Why did I was a little curious to see how Sachi pull off a yukata, but I guess I should have known better. She'd definitely wear a pink one.
何をおっしゃいますか、
Definitely pink
風
one.
見さん。
Maybe not, actually. Maybe not a pink one.
これは一見すればただのメイド服に見えますが、亜熱帯のジャングルでの活動を視野に入れて開発された防書に優れた夏季略装で。
Nah, it's fine. You don't have to say the whole thing. It's fine, Sachi. I give up. Go wander off to Saipan or Gudankana or something or
さん
wherever.
じゃあとりあえずみんな揃ったことだし、お祭りに繰り出しますか。
Yeah! There goes Makina. Rode like a paratrooper leaping out of the plane, Makina slips into her getter sandals and bursts out of the door, clattering noisily with every step.
ほらもう走ると転ぶわよ。
Yeah, them wooden shoes, they're very hard to walk on as well. Amane hastens after Makina, a wry smile on her face, and the rest of us follow her lead. And this is where we're gonna end the video. Very nice place to end it as well, I think. Because we've now got a summer festival coming. It's looking great. I'm looking forward to it. And unfortunately, I'm all out of time for today. And it's very unfortunate that I'm all out of time today as well. Literally, I might actually be able to come back and record one more video this later on tonight. But I need to do myself some food because I'm hungry. So, Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want any more from me. And I just missed my chest. There we go. And I'll see you in the next video. Sorry, guys. I will most certainly see you next time. Whew. See how this goes on, shall we? God damn. Woohoo.